Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you found your way here and you're finding your way here. And I'm calling all of you that are going to benefit from this information. And I'm happy to be working again with Bryan Lahr, who I've been working with over the years, and he has taught me so much. And I just want to once again share his knowledge with you, allow him to share his knowledge with you, and connect with those that would benefit from working with him. So, Bryan, thank you so much for being here and once again working with me. And I'm excited to get this going for real now.
Always a treat. It really is. Yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Hey, so if I don't know, do you want to introduce yourself or say a little
Well,
bit about yourself?
um, sure. So my name's Bryan Lahr, and I'm AKA the Wizard of Odd, and I've been an active practitioner now for over 50 years. I've been initiated in many different disciplines and have gotten to really sample and savor light at its depth for decades now.
Mhm.
And one of the ways to actually make things happen in the real world is to develop your telekinetic abilities. Um, and that's a process that you actually can open up, find, and develop. And over the years, I've been I really broke um, that barrier about 20 years ago. And it has really changed my way of life in so many profound ways. And I've gotten to find like the biggest part of myself now. And we're getting ready to do a seminar, webinar coming up in February that is going to be directly targeted towards busting you into your first telekinetic effect. It'll be broken down into four separate classes. Um, before we do this, I want to do something else. Um, I do a show on YouTube every Monday night called it's been called the Angel Channel, but it's changing to Be in the Light. And the thing that's different about my show is that we actually do live practice every week. We've got people like that have made some. I throw out telekinetic pieces. I've taught people how to see auras. It's a like don't just show up and listen, show up and practice. And I have been just really delighted now that there's been enough time to see people get on it and stay on it and the progress that they're making and the joy that that has brought to their lives. And then I do live readings also every week. But the thing that we do to start the actual live practice is I do an energy banishing and a connecting everybody listening in a sacred connection, our own sacred circle. And I use my trusty Tibetan bowl. It's been with me for about 35 years now. And there'll be two parts of this. The first part, I'll be going around and making and actually banishing the room and saying the words with the light of the source. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. And what I'm doing and what I would invite you to do is to click into that flow. And as you hear the clang, imagine it being like a supernova going off in your room. That's just brilliant white light and everything that doesn't belong there, every shadow, every gooky, boom, goes away. We're going to do that 3 times. And then we're going to give salutation to the angels and to the source and have a really, 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 really good, safe time. So here we go. Before we get started, let's do 3 really nice cleansing breaths in through the nose, really deep. Exhale through the mouth with force. In through the nose. Make a count. Exhale with force. One more. Inhale. Really fill it up and really push. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. Ah, there we go. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together today in joy and gratitude to create our sacred circle, our place of safety, sanctuary, and light. We ask that our guides and angels be with us today, share their wisdom, their knowledge, their love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude, gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Infinite unconditional love and our wish for bliss to the source. We open our circle. Yummy. It's so yummy.
Oh, this feels good. Feels amazing. Thank you.
So, the breathing thing, like I've gotten, like I could write a book on different breathing sequences now. And what's really great about them is that they affect your mental state, but they also really make physiological things change that now there are different chemicals that are happening. And like, there's a box breathing where it's like 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, that like the army teaches that the soldiers in foxholes. I mean, it really works. So anyway, I love those breath things. I love riding down to zero space. I love being able to explore that whole world. So let
Mm.
me tell you how I got into telekinetics a little bit.
Yes, let's dive into that.
This is the late 1980s, and I was a creative director in an advertising agency in Atlanta. And one of the guys whose partners owns the agency, really brilliant guy, like one of my life mentors. And one day he calls a meeting of the creative department in the conference room. Everybody shuffles in, kind of pissed off because there were always too many deadlines. Nobody had time to sit around. So we come shuffling in, and Joey comes in with this woman and introduces her as Reverend something. And I'm already like, no, man, like I don't want to like get any religion here. I've got work to do and ads to do, and I was really like kind of pissy about it. So she starts into her talk, and it's not about religion at all. It's all about energy and finding your abilities that have been dormant since you were born, and like just going on and on and on. And it all sounded cool, but it was like, it's just another story. Well, I looked up at her and she gave me this look that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. And she looked down at a metal ashtray. This is how long ago this was. She looked down at a metal ashtray, reached out, and with her hand drew the ashtray to her. It slid right across me in front of my face, and I absolutely had my whole worldview shattered. There was no way magnets, like you could
Wow.
like sit there and think about tricks and tricks and tricks and tricks, but there was no way to scan that. She did that. And I felt it, man. Like something was going on there. I was like, whoa. So I hadn't really gotten into studying and yeah, that was all. I was into crystals and numerology and I I hadn't really started digging in yet, but it was calling really, really hard. And I got the passion. I wanted to find somebody that could help me teach that. And she traveled all over everywhere. That she wasn't a person that could like actually teach me how to do that. She just cracked open the door for me. So as life happens, I looked and looked and got distracted, looked and looked, and in the meantime, Golden Dawn, my Babalao and African Ifa religion, and like I got distracted in all these other paths, but like wanting to do the telekinetics always just like it was something I knew like I had to have, like I had to have. So I finally identified a teacher. I'm living in Miami now. This is in the late 90s. So I identified like somebody through somebody who knew somebody who could actually do telekinetics. I met a lot of people that had a lot of really cool skills, but most people were in the intuitive, receptive areas, like I really didn't meet anyone that could actually do that. And to be honest, there were a couple times I thought, well, maybe that was just a hallucination. Wow, that
Yeah.
didn't want to come out of my mouth. But no, man, that calling was just too deep. Make a long story short, I found this guy and I tried to connect with him for a long time, and like the universe was just keeping us apart. And about 18 years ago, I kind of lost hope, man. Not kind of, I completely lost hope. I gave up. I didn't give a shit. Like, I thought I was never going to be able to connect with him. All this other stuff had happened with the African side of my stuff that was just really horrible and horrendous. And like I just I just gave up. I started drinking really heavy. I gained like I weighed like 400 pounds and got very, very sick. And I went to the emergency room to check it out. My blood sugar was like at 720, which is a walking diabetic coma. I don't know how I was actually getting around. And my teacher called me in the parking lot when I pulled into the emergency room. And I won't tell you that whole story, but like he made a deal with me that he'd help me get better. If I lost 100 pounds and got on it, he'd teach me my first effect, which lit me up. And wow, all right, man, I had purpose all of a sudden. So in less than a year, I'd lost 156 pounds and I got to do my very first effect, which is was spinning the rod, which is the effect I'm going to teach everybody in the class. So
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
And I've done this class with you before, so I know it works. And I know a lot of people don't believe in it, but trust me, when you see it with your own eyes, it's like nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take that away
when
from you.
you feel yourself do something and you're looking at it and
Yeah.
there's no other explanation, the wall of impossibility, what you consider impossible, shatters.
Yes.
Like if I can do that, what can I do? And I've been addicted ever since, man. I want to
Mhm.
go farther. I want to see more. And the more you learn, the more you can learn, and the more fun it gets, and the more
Yeah.
like it's just the ultimate creativity because I think we forget that our light is actually a spark of the source. We're not
Yes.
disconnected. We don't have to like do some ritual to connect. All you have to do is light it up. Oh, God. And that is so, I mean, that's the ultimate creative energy. That's why we're the creators of our own universes. Think about this. Everything you've ever thought about exists on the astral as as its own little universe.
Mhm.
Everything, every conversation, every person you've imagined, everything you've ever done exists. And that's a big universe. You know, we get to our age and like that's a pretty big universe. But no one will ever be able to touch it except you. Maybe pieces. You can share some, you can communicate, but that just manifests in my universe like I see it, not like you get to actually see it. You know, so we're all these really unique, in your universe, you're God. You're creating all the time, and making decisions and sending out energy and like, makes you have
I
cause
find
to
that
be more responsible in your own universe.
yes, I think that's so important because I've realized a lot of people don't realize that they create, you know, like
All
they
every second.
perceive and they think, oh, I'm perceiving something that's outside of my control or outside of what already is in a sense, you know what I mean? But they don't realize that they're interacting with the field and that they're creating it too. And
Well,
I feel like you teach that so well that you are a part of this. And
after all of the disciplines that I've been through, the Enochian, like at the end, the Eastern stuff, at the end of all of that is this place where your individuality dissolves and you merge with the whole. Well, I didn't like that idea of that at all.
let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I actually about 6 months ago got there. I was sort of faced with that choice. It went, let go, just let go. And I was like, no, I'll be
I'm
gone,
not
gone.
ready.
And the curious part of me, like standing there in it, like, yeah, let go. And when I let go, and my light got really bright and spread out and just merged into all the other light around me. It was amazing. And all of a sudden, I realized not only was I not gone, but instead of that, I was part of everyone else's journey too.
Right.
Like I was part of the all, and
Mhm.
it felt home for the first
Mhm.
time in my go around the sun this time.
How did that happen for you? Like, did it? I
Uh,
know it's a culmination of lifetimes, and I get that.
well, I've really been um, watering, feeding, and fostering my relationship with the source. After all of those disciplines, they're all like little beautiful facets on the gem, you know, but the light goes down to this little point at the end, which is the same place. And I realized that place is energy. That place is energy. And I began living my life like understanding that we are energetic people outside of any of the human stuff, the society stuff, the cultural stuff. None of that's real. It doesn't really exist. What exists is energy. And when you live in accordance with the laws of energy, things work. And one
Mhm.
of the main laws of energy, what you send out, you get returned. You know, and you've
Mhm.
heard that your whole life, what you think you become, but it's a real scientific fact. When
Yeah.
you send out an energetic frequency, if you're mad all the time, even if you're not yelling at other people, but inside you're mad all the time, you're sending out that frequency. And energy is like it never varies. The rule is send it out, reflect. Send it
Mm.
out, reflect.
Mhm.
And so it can't really do anything except send you more situations and people to piss you off. I'm serious. That's
Yeah.
the result of that.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you realize, when you change your own perspective and you
Mhm.
start thinking about what you spend your time during the day thinking about,
Mm.
because every thought you have exists in your astral energy.
Yeah.
Every thought,
Yeah.
every thought. And, when you start, that's why in the little opening thing, I get up in the morning and I connect up with the source and I gather all the energy I can and I just love you.
Yeah.
And I send that there. And oh man, the goosebumps on the goosebumps on the goosebumps. So what reflects back? Love from the source. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
So I've just really tried to, it's not something you can just change because we've been programmed to like stew on stuff and be mad and there are outside influences trying to stir that up and make that happen too. But it's always our choice on where to stay and where to bring that energy back. And, I want to live where like there's joy inside, not pain and fear and man. Hey, I've lost your audio.
Oops, sorry. And fun and capability and possibility and
Everything I just told
yes.
Everything I just told you is the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
When I'm spinning the rod or I'm like doing a materialization or I'm playing with the weather, like, oh man, I'm like totally connected. Like that's the closest you ever get in the physical to the source. Because
Mm.
you're using that, that's the energy that you're using. And I'm a roaring addict. I've been like addicted to
Yeah.
everything. But like when I started practicing and I realized all those things were in the way of me getting better and like really realizing that, it was so easy to let go of all that stuff because I found
Right.
a new addiction.
Right. And I feel it can help to it changes your mindset, your outlook, your perspective, and it makes you remind me all the time to stay positive, to see things not in this floaty woo-woo fake way of being positive. You know what I mean. You guys all know what I
Absolutely.
mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But to literally realize that there is no limitation except for the limitation that I set, right? And if I believe in that limitation, then well,
That's what you're
what?
manifesting.
And so because it's so, but you can't convince people of that. You know what I mean? Like they have to experience it and it feels like
Well, when you
working
live
with
your
you.
life like that and people start seeing like tangible changes in you,
Yeah. Hmm.
and when you're projecting that out, like on the show every week, man, I'm projecting that out. And people find their way. The ones
Yeah.
that need it, the ones that like, oh yeah, I'm so ready, find
Yeah.
their way. And that's so joyous. It really is, man. Be able to like, I feel so privileged and gifted from the source to have realized that in myself and privileged and grateful beyond words to the people that have shared that with me and sent that down the chain to me. And I love taking my place as a link in the chain and getting it and sending it down. And there are four people on the show that cracked the telekinetics, and we're getting ready to move into another layer. And I'm like, man, that was the whole reason I did it.
Mhm.
Whole reason I did it. Yeah. So I guess we should talk about the telekinetic
Yeah. And
stuff.
what is it? How does it work? Because I know a lot of people want to know how it works. That's I've gotten a couple of people asking me. They very respectfully, I have to say, like I've put it out there and people's responses have been respectful. And one of the main things that they want to know though is how does it work? Is there something that you can explain?
I can totally break it down. Yeah. All right. So I've kind of gotten in the mode of uh, well, I broke it down into four really distinct sections. And the people that are kind of interested in learning with my teacher, like I get them first and I teach them these. And if they can get it, then they're ready to move on to like a serious practice. Um, and the first one, each one of these is like gold in and of itself, but all of them build up to the last class, which is actually moving something. The first class and most important class is being able to access and use your personal energy with intent. And, we just kind of flow, but that energy is available to be able to direct to things. Okay, one of the first exercises is being able to draw all of the energy in your body into a kind of a solid energy ball in your solar plexus, and then move. And there are processes to that I like break down. This is the first class in the workshop series. Um, and then once you're able to like make it obey you to that degree and get it all nice and condensed there, then you start taking that energy and with your intent, moving it to different parts of your body, like moving it all that energy. Now it's like all the energy in you moves up, goes down to your left hand. The really funny thing when I do this in person, when people are really getting it, you can see them kind of leaning to the left because it feels like it has density, when you're doing it right. And then just being able to move that all around, really like be able to color it, to be able to give it temperature. And then once you get control of being able to move that energy, being able to heal yourself, like that's all. Like I haven't done pharmaceuticals or doctors except for my hernia surgery in 20 years. And that's from being able to like identify stuff, being able to like lock in and use directed energy. I mean, if it's solid enough to be able to move an object in the real world, it has oomph behind it. It's not just woo. Yeah, intentions are fine, but intentions without energy behind it don't always work as well. So once you have once you have control and use of your personal energy, which will make you feel more solid than you've ever felt ever. Like you're not just kind of flowing, you're like walking with intention, which is like, it's awesome. Okay, then the second course is super important, and that's understanding the aura. Understand the aura is not just a bunch of glow around you. Your aura is a really super complex, multi-layered structure with all of those structures having individual functions and that set points in there, little points of energy that are around there that are the sum of your choices and your conditioning and what you were born into, and those are called your set points. And that's how you really, that's like the software for your body being the hardware. Like everything starts in your astral first. When you have a thought to do something, you're creating something in the third, probably second band of your aura, and then that stuff manifests through the first band into your physical body, and then like actually things start happening.
Mhm.
So really being able to understand and see the aura, and that's one of the things with this class. I've got a great exercise where you can start. You don't get to see the whole thing first off, unless you're like naturally skilled in that area. But like I haven't had anybody that hasn't been able to like see that first and maybe a part of the colored second band.
Mhm.
Um, the auras, the bands that we live in are there are four of them, and that's what our physical existence really functions in. The first band is your earth band. It's about an inch and a half wide. It coats your whole all the way around your body. It's the interface between the upper astral and your physical body. Second band, it's the big one, man, because that's your emotional band. That's your water band. So if you think about it, even when you're just sitting still, you're still hearing things, you're getting input, you're always reacting. So that's really, really super huge. And then outside of that is your third band, which is where it's just information. It's evaluating information, gathering facts. It's devoid of emotion. And then your fourth band is your energy interface between the upper astral and your functioning bands. And once you start seeing that, like so many things happen, like healing. You and I have a really knockdown, drag out fight, right? And we're
Yeah.
yelling at each other, right? We both say really hurtful things, go away, unresolved. You go home that night and go, man, that was really ridiculous. I'm really sorry that happened. You stop thinking about it. Well, before that, right after all that energy gets released from both of us, in both of our auras, in the second band, in our emotional band, is a nasty little pimply looking black thing. So you go home and drop it. It dries up, falls away. I go home and circle think on that damn thing. And I
Yeah.
get more and more mad. I keep reliving it. I keep pouring energy into that thing. Well, what happens is it grows and grows and grows and grows. And finally, it gets to this point where it's kind of scalloped like a brain cell with little hairs running down, right?
Brilliant.
So you
Yeah.
keep feeding it, and those hairs grow down. They go through your first span, they hit your body, and wherever is your weakest part, all that energy goes right there and zaps you.
Mm.
Ah. So being able to clean those, being able to see those, being able to keep that area free of those kind of things, first of all, keeps you healthy to begin with. You know, I have a really good friend who's like an avid runner, and he's like late 40s, really great shape all his life, keeps having heart attacks. And I can like see his light, man. It's like, dude, you need to address that. And I've tried to like talk around it because he's not metaphysical.
Yeah.
But no, he's holding on to it. So he'll just keep having heart attacks until he dies, no matter what kind of like uh, medical attention he'll get. The root cause of that is still there. So understanding that, being able to see that, I've got some really good exercises for being able to just see energy, like seeing the energy world around you. Like you feel like you've had blinders on your whole life, man. Like once that opens up, like the thought of going back, ah, yeah, really crazy. And when you can see your own aura, you can do lots of maintenance on yourself, keep yourself good. You can see where problems are happening. You see where good stuff, water that. And then when you can see that on other people, like nobody can lie to me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wah! I mean, like, no, for real. All right. So then the third class is now that you've been able to gather all that energy, bring that energy in with your intent, you brighten it up, you scrape it out. Now, maintaining that is a really crucial thing that I like do every single day. And that's grounding each of those bands of the aura in a really specific way, running real energy through each one of those. You've experienced those. Those are pretty
Yes.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and scraping all of that goo that like the world pours on you,
Mhm.
it's not even so much about people doing curses or stuff like that. The world's dirty.
Yeah.
You go to a shopping mall, man,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of goo. So you come home at night, and I don't like to get so many things stacked up, like I have a list of stuff I have to do. So like you take a shower every day. Why not in the shower do your grounding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other parts of that class are really intense shielding and protecting the house and just being able to use that energy to keep nefarious energies away from you.
That is so important. Like, I'm always swarmed, it feels like. And I'm not angry. I'm not an angry person. But yeah, exciting.
All right. And then last but not least, um, I talked about the spinning the rod thing. I think you posted something with the triple spin thing, right? And pretty much what that is I've got this little this glass lens. It has a flat back, so I can sit on a little piece of wood, and then oh, where am I? There we go. I use an antenna from a boom box, right? What's really great about this is it like shrinks down. You can keep it in your pocket all day and keep it really charged up. So you don't have to spend much time doing that. And then
Right.
what happens is this sits on top of the little lens thing, and with your energy you spin it around, and there's a bunch of like being able to move it in different directions. Like the thing I sent you, I was spinning three rods at one time, and one of them was going in the opposite direction. So being able to really hone and focus your energy skills like that, it's the greatest. There you go.
I've been trying to practice.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got
Well,
this
one of the
because
things
I
we're
don't
gonna,
have an antenna, right? So I thought, okay,
it doesn't matter. You know what else you could use is a bamboo skewer.
that's true. Yeah, you
You
said
know,
that.
a
Yeah,
chopstick works pretty good. A drumstick's not too bad. I
right.
particularly like metal.
Yeah, yeah. Metal definitely works better than
So,
paper.
so one of the things that, you know, each of those classes will come with some really specific instruction,
Yeah.
foods to eat, exercises to do, and we'll go through each of those. The exercise to like raise your energy to be able to see the
Mhm.
aura. That's probably a half an hour right there.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
that. It's,
so
it's,
it's
yeah.
we had some really good success, and the reason that we're doing it kind of spread out like that is if you want to take it on, if you feel the calling, this is a really good opportunity to like open up your biggest self, man, and to be having access to your projective abilities like will change the way you move through the world in a
Yes.
really, 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 really huge way.
Mm, I need to
So, yeah, we hope you'll join us
definitely do that.
and see what we can do. You know, we had some really good success. The way
Last time was
the way
amazing.
it's structured with the weeks, I fell off the train there. There's enough time in that 7 day window to take what we do on the class and to actually practice that every day. Like,
Mm,
it's not going to be here's the class, and then you don't do anything for 6 days, and then you want to go on to the next step. It's not going to work nearly as well.
right.
So, we've got a nice little chunk of time that if you get on it, you can actually achieve this at the end of the show. And, there's only so much you can teach. It comes from your own desire, and your own ability to want it and to understand what it could actually do for you. It's not a
Speaking of,
trick,
of, of desire and ability, is this something that everybody can learn, or do you need a specific talent, or is it?
Everybody has natural abilities. Like my natural abilities were way more toward the clairvoyant side.
Hmm,
Um, the projective stuff was something I really wanted really bad. Um, so I just did whatever I needed to do to make that happen. And I think that I used to think everybody has it. I think everybody has something to some degree. I'm not sure everybody's karmic journey selections include that this time around. I think a lot of people are. I think there's a lot of people waking up, but like, I think it's really an individual kind of selection on it. And I think what you want and what you send out to the universe going, I really want this, they'll send back.
yeah,
Especially when it's for your evolution and your growth and you're getting closer to the source. They tend
right.
to really support those
Is
things.
there anything that people need to do to prepare for this? Like, I
To
don't know,
prepare for the class,
yeah.
um,
Because you mentioned diet and things like that, so
well, I
does
don't
all that
really,
influence your capability of doing this, or can you just,
well, I've got a whole list. As you really start to work with your energy, you burn up different chemicals in your body.
mm,
So I think it's premature without like them actually understanding what they're doing to really go into that at this point. I think just get excited,
yeah.
expected, and be willing to like give your light some love, man, and to
Mhm.
give yourself the greatest freaking gift you will ever, ever give yourself. and
Right.
keep your life good. And then the people around you benefit from that too, man.
Yeah. So does this also, because I remember last time we also manifested stuff into a jar. Well, we didn't. Some people
Actually,
did.
that was no, that was level two.
Two, that was level two. That's
Yeah,
right.
level one takes you through spinning the rod. And the
Right.
reason for that is spinning. Yeah, spinning is part of every single thing that's happening. If you look at a mountain, it looks really still, but when you break it down, like the particles, every one of them are spinning.
Yes.
So having that ability to like go into that, super critical for the mat thing because okay, what happens? Let's see. I I get a little jar like this, right? And then from the kitchen cabinet, you bring some salt or some sugar or something like that, or water. It's really a great thing to play with and test different materials. But the way that happens is that you're sending your intent into the salt, you're spinning the particles of the salt faster and faster and faster and faster until that salt falls out of phase in this space.
Right.
And then once it's energy, you draw it there and slow it back down, and there's your salt.
There's yourself. And I couldn't believe it. You explained it. You explained it just like this. And we were all sitting there going, okay. And then we started doing it. And all of a sudden, for one lady, she's like, she opens the cap and she's like, oh my gosh, there's salt. And we're like,
It
what?
really does work, it really does
It
work,
does. Yeah.
One thing I would like to say about this, man, and I when I throw out little tidbits on the show, I make a point of this too. This is for people that already know it exists and they want it. This
Yeah.
is in no way, shape, or form ever going to prove to anybody that telekinetics exists or
Yeah.
works or anything like that. And pretty much, if you come into it with that attitude, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of succeeding.
Yeah.
So there are a million ways on video that you can fake something 100 ways. I gain nothing from doing that. And like,
Right.
I'm not trying to get people to think I'm amazing and give me money for doing that.
Yeah.
I'm throwing out with those effects and what I'll be doing on the show, I create that sacred circle. We are actually connected.
Yeah.
And what I'm able to do is, as I'm doing an effect or thinking about that, I can send that groove out through the network.
Mhm.
And people are able to latch onto that and
Uh,
find that groove. Yeah.
right.
And that's why
So
it's worked
amazing.
out kind of successfully. So
So amazing. And I know you're the real deal. Yeah. I just I've been doing this and in this realm for so long, and you're one of the few that I found that are super authentic down to the tippy toes of your, like super real deal. You don't say what you can't do, you say what you can't do, you say what you can do. And that's really it. And
thanks. Thanks.
I totally appreciate that because we need more people like that are, yeah. Anyways, rambling, gushing.
Well, I just wanted to say these days in the land of instant chat profits,
Yeah,
like everything I'm bringing to this, like the telekinetic stuff, that's 20 years.
that's 20
That's
years.
road tested, man.
Yes.
And I'm bringing the things that as through my practice, I'm like, well, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try that. And like a lot of hit and miss, a lot of, and now it's kind of like into a really cohesive little system. And
Right.
that saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm excited.
Me
I
too.
can't wait for this go around because last go around was a trip. And you kept throwing in little extras too. I remember that net like now it's all coming back because the last one was in 2018 or 2019. So it's a little bit of a while. So but now I'm starting to remember you taught us how to manifest stuff. You taught us how to work with energy to create things in our lives that we,
Sigils.
desired, sigils. and how to work with that. Like it was so much packed in that you didn't say was actually in the course, and then it starts popping up, and we're like, oh, nice, Brian, we love Brian.
Bonus feature.
Yeah, treats. So awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Yeah.
Me
And the
too.
energy cleanse I had with you was incredible. And I did write you a testimonial and a
You
review for
did.
that
Thank you very much.
it was genuine, and it did absolutely help. And I'm still so in love with your cards, and I have them here. Can I show them?
Absolutely.
So one
That's
second.
actually how we met through those cards.
Yeah, 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 yeah. These are the most amazing cards. And the ones I love the most, the most amazing angel cards that I have worked with. Because these were the ones that really got the energies of the angels to me, the way I perceive them and the way I feel them. And they weren't like little fluffy cherubs at all. I mean,
No.
were entities that like tore down nations and did all these things in the ancient writings, and you really brought it up and out.
Those were manifested, those are photographs of charged incense smoke.
Wow. And then you mirrored it because actually you have, I think, like this,
Yeah.
and then you mirrored it so you guys can see the smoke here. Then it's mirrored, and all of a sudden these beings start showing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what the
And
heck?
that deck was really crazy because I don't usually invoke spirits. I don't take spirits in me. Like
Yes, no,
I do
yeah.
lots of talking outside, but all 72 of those I like did an invocation, brought them in, and then let them do the readings. And I did
Right.
automatic writing doing the readings. And those things, man, it's going on like 11 or 12 years now. Like I'm still amazed on a daily basis how accurate those guys are, man.
Mm,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
And these
I
are your tarot cards. And I saw these and I knew I had to get in touch with you. And I did. And here we are. But and you ship worldwide, right? Because I
I
have friends in
do.
Germany that were trying to order and they said that it looked like you didn't ship to Germany. I was like, there's no way. Of
You
course they
know,
do.
Shopify is kind of messed up. If somebody's looking for them, tell them to make sure to shoot me if they're getting that message. Shoot me a little
Yeah.
message on
Okay.
Shopify, and I'll be happy to like make sure that's set up.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm so stoked. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Me
And if you
too.
guys have any questions, just post it in the chat, and of course I'll get to it. So, and if not, one second here. Yay, Brian and Car together again. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And you were the one that was like, because I don't know if I should say this because I don't know.
Go ahead.
But you were the one that kind of warned me about for me. I'm not saying that this is a dark place, Mexico, but you kind of warned me about going there for me and my energy, and you're like, you're gonna experience some stuff, and I did.
Yes, yes, you
I
did.
did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I did. So I'm like, I listened to your warnings and your advice now. I'm like, okay, I got it.
I'm sorry you had to learn the hard way.
I, that's
It
that's
is
that's
make it,
me.
it is
Yeah,
so, yes,
it is
indeed.
so. It is so. And how long have you been doing you said 20 years that you've been working with telekinesis?
Well, yeah, telekinetic stuff like 20 years, but
Yeah.
I've been on the path and like for over 50 years now. Yeah.
Right. And what were some of the routes that your path took you down? Like where have you
Well, I
been?
got initiated into the Golden Dawn, the Masons. I'm an initiated Babalao in the African religion of Ifa.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I got into voodoo a little bit. I got into Thelema a little bit. Yeah, and then I went deeply into kind of like a black hat's version of some Chinese magic that was really super intense. I don't know what you would call that. Super intense Chinese magic. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How did you stumble into that? That's interesting.
You know, ask and ye shall receive.
Steve.
So true.
Wow. That's obscure. That's really
I like the really strange stuff, you know.
yeah.
I like the stuff that works too, you know. I
Yeah.
want to see it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like you like experimenting too and just testing your limits and seeing
I'm
what.
so curious, man. It overrides my fear. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, but what about?
Oh,
And
it's not going to work.
it
Yeah, but
wins every time, man. My curiosity. I've been able to keep my little 6-year-old boy alive my whole life. And
yeah.
he just wants to see, man. He just wants to experience. He just wants to feel it all, man. And I keep him unbridled.
And I remember when we first met, and I haven't asked you about this in a while, but you were going through a deeper initiation with something. Like
I
that
was.
was pretty intense, and the stuff you had to do and to prepare yourself for that. And I
It
was like,
was very, 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 very intense. We all have up above the chunks of bands that we live in here in this reality is another reality with a whole nother chunk of bands and another you that's infinitely more evolved living on that plane.
mm,
And the magical path that my teacher teaches, like the culmination of the first 9 months of training is to be able to make physical contact with your ally and absorb that energy and be able to communicate with that, like here. And that very, very intense. Being able to get bright enough, like when I say more evolved, way more evolved. Like just like bright like the sun evolved. And yeah, so being able and the way that you get their attention is to be able to brighten your energy up bright enough to catch their eye. Not an easy,
not an easy task. No, I
but the
remember.
most super worthwhile, man. It's like every
Yeah.
one of these steps has changed my life and sculpted me in these really wonderful ways, actually, in ways I expected, but like never expected.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, let's manifest getting you here and doing an in-person workshop. That would be the culmination. Like, yes, of all our years and all your work. I mean, that would be great to bring it over here. And
Yeah.
I know
Uh,
there are a lot of people that are interested, want to know and have your same curiosity and want to learn.
That'd be
So
fun.
great. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, it's
Well,
been great hanging out with you.
yeah. Thank you so much. And
Been
thank you
great
for
hanging
offering
out with
this.
the circle.
Yes,
So, let's close this down. What do you say?
absolutely.
We joyously come together and go on our married separate ways. We thank the angels and guides for sharing their knowledge, their wisdom, and their love of the source, and with absolute gratitude for the good, the bad, and especially the ugly,
Mm,
infinite, unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. We close our circle.
thank you. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Enjoy that little wave. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. And I can't wait to get started. Thank you guys for being here with us. And any questions you have, reach out to Brian or me. And his information will be in the description box below this video. And I hope to see you there. That's all I can say.
So enjoyed. I'll see you soon.